Welcome to Conversations. I'm Muqtada Khan, your host, and I'm coming to you from South Korea, Seoul, South Korea. And I'm going to talk to you about the Saudi US Defense Pact. It is a major development indeed, and this is something very important in some ways, you could say, and what it means and what its total implications are, I will discuss. And I'll also try and give you a brief summary of what actually has been discussed because one of the troubles with President Trump is he talks a lot about many things at the same time. So sometimes it is very difficult to focus on exactly what is being discussed between these partners. He talked a lot about Joe Biden, for example, Joe Biden sleeping on the beach and so on and so forth, fist bumping Prince. But anyway, for Saudi Arabia, this was a very important visit, no doubt about it, for Mohammed bin Salman, the crown prince. The crown prince came back to the US after many years. He had suffered a lot of criticism in the West because of his alleged role in the assassination of the journalist, the Saudi journalist Adnan Khashoggi in uh, in Turkey. I had met Khashoggi on a couple of occasions, but I did not know him well. I met him in events and conferences about the Middle East. And so he has come back here after many years, and Donald Trump basically honored him in a big way, gave a big party in his honor, and repeatedly referred to him as this great man. I honor this great man. This is how he talked about him. He talked about him as a future king of Saudi Arabia and as also a very important global leader. So this is something significant that he personally has elevated and legitimized Mohammed bin Salman, who has been getting a lot of criticism in the West. One reporter did ask a very tough question from ABC, and Trump basically lambasted her, giving her a lecture in etiquette about how to behave with a great leader, an honored guest in the White House. So that is important from a personal perspective. It places Saudi Arabia again at the center of US strategy in the Middle East. So some of the big items are this. Number one, that Donald Trump announced Saudi Arabia as a major non NATO ally. So he has elevated Saudi Arabia to the status of countries like South Korea, where I am right now, and Japan, Israel. These are all countries which are non NATO allies of the United States. For a long time, Pakistan also enjoyed that status, which it has once again recovered. So now the advantage of being a non NATO ally, a major non NATO ally, is that you get faster and easier access to American weapons and American defense equipment. So, in that context, Donald Trump has approved the sale of F 35s to Saudi Arabia, and these are going to be the best F-35. There will be no dilution, no attempt to dilute the capabilities of F-35s to ensure that Israel has a qualitative military edge over other countries. For example, in the past, the F-16s that were sold to Israel were qualitatively, technically, far more superior to the F-16s that Jordan has, or Pakistan has, or any other Muslim country or European country for that matter. But Saudi Arabia is now going to get the best F-35s that are available. Now, this can be a great concern for India, for example, that the Saudis now have a defense pact with Pakistan, which is also kind of designated a non NATO major ally of the United States, and now they have a defense pact with the United States, and they have the best American technology and also the assurance that if someone were to attack Saudi Arabia, America will come to Saudi Arabia's defense. And not only that, Saudi Arabia has agreed to subsidize America's military presence in the Middle East. So while America will guarantee Saudi security and the region's security, Saudi Arabia will actually subsidize it. So basically, American military is now for hire. Saudi Arabia will pay for America to be present in the Middle East. And then, of course, besides the F-35s, there are two other very critical things that have happened. One is that Saudi Arabia is going to collaborate on artificial intelligence. So let me share with you what the defense agreement really was. So this is the White House readout that was issued. The president secured agreements reinforcing America's role as a regional security enabler, enhancing U.S. military partnerships to better allow partners to deter and defeat threats, approved a major defense sale package, including future F 35 deliveries, which strengthens the U.S. defense industrial base and ensures Saudi Arabia continues to buy American. So basically, they are worried that Saudi Arabia may start buying Chinese weapons, and so it is important that Saudi Arabia buy American technology. Now, if the Saudis are smart, they should really rush through with it. My advice to the Saudi crown prince is to buy these whatever amount of F-35s he wants to buy as quickly as possible before the midterm elections. Because if the Democrats come to power, then as you can see from the recent mayor of New York, they go all the way to Israel to get their orders, and then they go and say, "Look, I did a great job for you." And so the Israeli lobby will not allow the best F-35s to be sold to Saudi Arabia. So if the Democrats get even House or Senate, then Saudi Arabia is not going to get these F-35s. So to my advice to His Highness Prince Mohammed bin Salman, buy tomorrow, whatever you want, 100, 200 F-35s, buys tomorrow. Make sure you read the fine print very, very closely. There'll be very tricky lawyers drafting that. Make sure you read them very closely and make sure you get the best F-35s. If you're going to pay for it, you might as well get it. He has also talked about selling 300 American tanks to Saudi Arabia. I don't know what that is for. This is not the era of tanks. You saw what drones did to tanks, to the Armenian tanks in the Azerbaijan-Armenia war. So I think that's just another way of the Saudis basically giving money to America and buying rubbish. Uh, I think tanks as a weapon system is overrated now. They are very expensive. Each tank costs millions of dollars, which can simply be destroyed by one suicide drone. So anyway, this is the deal they have made. There is a lot of agreement also on establishing a civilian nuclear uh, program for the Saudis. And of course, the Saudis have confirmed that they will be investing $600 billion in the United States. In fact, the Prince Salman said very clearly that immediately, as soon as possible, he wants to buy $50 billion worth of chips for his AI projects. I don't know what AI projects the Saudis are running, but they need that. They are also investing in data centers in the United States. So the Saudis are going to invest most definitely in the short term a couple of $100 billion. Well, not just invest. I think Mohammed bin Salman is thinking in terms of everything that I buy and everything that I invest is part of that 600 billion. So the defense deal, according to some people, is about $140 billion. And so he thinks, okay, here's $140 billion. I'm going to buy F-35s. I'm going to buy tanks. And then here's $50 billion. I'm going to buy lots of AI advanced chips and semiconductors, etc., for the Saudi efforts at whatever they are doing. And then here I'm investing in building data centers in the United States. And some of the investments are not a bad deal because they will make a lot of profit, and Saudi Arabia gets to keep those profits. So anyway, that's as far as the economic and the defense side is concerned. The third side is obviously Israel first policy. This is all being done just to make sure that Israel is accepted in the Middle East and there's normalization of relations with the Arab world. And unlike the president of Kazakhstan, I'm very surprised at what he did. That he basically signed on to the Abrahamic Accords, obviously under pressure from Donald Trump, or maybe to make Donald Trump happy. He didn't get anything. He didn't get F-35s. He didn't get F-16s. He got nothing except a deal with rare minerals, rare earth minerals, but America needs that, and they would have made the deal anyway. So, unlike the president of Kazakhstan, the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia is actually being very prudent and very sensible and very diplomatic. He did not commit to signing the Abrahamic Accords. He says, yes, we want to be at peace with every country in the Middle East. That would include, obviously, Iran, Turkey, Egypt, and Israel. But he did say that he would like to see a definite pathway to the two-state solution. Donald Trump kind of hedged on it. He says, yes, yes, we talked about it, two-state, one-state. Like, what does that mean? What is one-state solution that he's talking about? Killing all the Palestinians to keep the genocide going? Come on, he had to be a bit more clearer on that. But he was not. I'm quite surprised that he did not shed more light on it. But it is very clear that Saudi Arabia is not signing on until they get what they want. They want a defense treaty tighter than NATO's. This is getting uh, a major non-NATO ally treaty is not getting the NATO guarantees of Article 5. They basically want in writing that if anybody attacks Saudi Arabia, the US will defend them. No ifs, no buts. That's one of the things the Saudi wants. The number two that they want is that a civil nuclear program. Number three, they want a clear pathway to the two-state solution for the Palestinians. And if that doesn't happen, then they are not signing on to the deal. So that is as far as these agreements are concerned. And Donald Trump clearly understands that he is going to be under pressure from the Israeli lobby. And so he said it very clearly that no, we are not going to give you inferior jets. We are going to give you just as good fighter F-35s as we give to Israel. So that is another important point that he made. So I think this was overall a very good day for Saudi Arabia. They did not recognize Israel. They got F-35s. Like I said, they should make sure that they buy them before Democrats come to power. But yeah, otherwise, you know how Democrats are. Just listen to Joe Biden, ironclad support for Israel. So basically, whatever Israelis say, and they will buy that. They will do, basically, they will just ask Israel, what should we do? And Israel say, do ABC, and they will do ABC. So the Saudis will not get those jets, I can guarantee you. And if they get it, it'll be inferior, third-rate, good-for-nothing, useless planes. So they should take it while Trump is in power. And I think otherwise they should not go ahead with that deal at all. And of course, the Abrahamic Accords, we'll see what happens. Donald Trump will continue to put pressure on him. He wants it signed, and he doesn't care whether it has any meaning or not. Like, for example, Sudan. Sudan is a partner in the Abrahamic Accords. There's a genocide going on in Sudan. What is Saudi Arabia, what is Israel, UAE, or Bahrain, or any of these Abrahamic Accords people doing to prevent it or help Sudan come out of its troubled times? Nothing at all. There's no discussion of Sudan while talking about the Abrahamic Accord. So why would, I mean, you have to be idiotic and stupid and foolish like the Kazakhstan government to sign the Abrahamic Accords. But otherwise, why would you join it? Just look at Sudan. What benefit has Sudan got from joining the Abrahamic Accords? Nothing. Its status as a terrorist state was removed by Donald Trump, and he got a photo op with the Sudanese signing the Abrahamic Accords. Other than that, nothing happened. And so for those who sign up onto the Abrahamic Accords, if they don't really negotiate hard, they're not going to get anything. And UAE, which was the leader in all of this, is now on the back foot, whether it is in the case of Sudan or whether it's Gaza or otherwise. It is not getting the kind of attention it should have got for signing the Abrahamic Accords in the second term. Qatar has become a more important player in the Middle East. Saudi Arabia has become a more important player. So I'm going to wind up this presentation by reading some of your comments and also taking your questions and trying to answer them to the best of my ability. I have been a bit off air for a while because I've been traveling. I just arrived about a couple of hours ago in South Korea, in Seoul, South Korea. This is my first visit to South Korea. So I'm here speaking at a conference on Indo-Pacific security. I'll be talking about President Trump, obviously, and the tweaks he has made in the basically Donald Trump and the Indo-Pacific strategy. Is there such a thing out there anymore, or has Donald Trump completely forgotten about Indo-Pacific? That is what I will be talking about tomorrow. I just arrived here from Beijing. I gave a talk yesterday at the Tsinghua University, which is considered the MIT of China. Apparently, Xi Jinping also studied there. I was very impressed with China. I will do a whole show on what I saw in China. So I went to Shenzhen city, which is very close to Hong Kong. So basically, my tour was I came to Hong Kong, give a keynote address at a conference in Hong Kong, stayed in Hong Kong for 3 days. I did a show on Hong Kong. You should see that about Hong Kong's growth story. And then I came to China by by a luxury van. We drove across the border from Hong Kong into Shenzhen. I had a very good meeting with scholars, Chinese scholars there. Then I came to Beijing, had a talk, and then had meetings with scholars here in Beijing. I also saw the Great Wall and other things. And then now I'm here in Seoul. So I have been very focused on this and therefore have not touched upon other topics such as the Bihar election and what's going on between Japan and China, which I will try and talk about it tomorrow probably. But anyway, so I thought I will share that with you, and then I will now read your comments, and if there are any questions, I'll be happy to answer them. So Manvendra says he talks about a particular report. So U.S. Congress got a report, and he wants to talk about. I think he's talking about a report that is called submitted to the U.S. Congress by U.S.-China Economic and Security Review. It's apparently a 700-page report. I did not get a chance to read that report yet. But what was interesting is that while I was in Hong Kong, that report came out, and Hong Kong was very, very upset. The people in Hong Kong were very angry with the recommendations in the report because it recommends that the US impose sanctions on Hong Kong. But it also talks about Pakistan's military performance. And the report basically says that China has used India's attack on Pakistan during Operation Sindoor as an opportunity to test and advertise. This is what the report says, to test and advertise the superiority of Chinese weapons. And they say that Pakistan performed very well in that. And I think that at least from the American point of view, they do believe that Pakistan shot down many of India's jets. And that is why the commission report is very worried about China's role in that. They say it's not a proxy war because China did not trigger or instigate the war, but they are saying that China took advantage to advertise and promote its weapons. Not only that, China also gave real-time intelligence to Pakistan. Pakistan is denying that. India is saying that China did give intelligence to Pakistan. Pakistan says no, but China is neither confirming nor denying it, which means China did give intelligence. So basically, what the report basically says is that Pakistan did very well in the war, much better than anybody had expected. And that was primarily because of one, Chinese weapons, number two, Chinese intelligence, but more importantly, China's willingness to support Pakistan against India. With all the talk about India, growth story, India this, India that, India rising, world power, multipolar system, etc., China was not hesitant. This issue came up when I was talking to scholars in China too, and it was very interesting. I asked them that why was China so strongly supportive of Pakistan, and they said that we have very long relations with Pakistan. We have a history of good relations with Pakistan, and we trust each other. There is no way we could not have supported Pakistan in that. So that was an interesting thing. The scholar just basically told me on my face that it is that they have very strong trusted relationship. I even asked whether the Chinese were worried that Pakistan was becoming very close to the United States, and their answer was something I was quite surprised. They said, "No, we like that. We like that because Pakistan then becomes a bridge between the US and China, number one. Number two, they also said that we trust Pakistan, and uh, and it is not a zero-sum game. So if Pakistan gets support from the US, we are happy with that." So that was an interesting thing. The security that they feel with Pakistan, I didn't have that sense before that I now have. So it was an interesting report. I do plan to go through that report, most definitely, Manvendra. And so please come subscribe to the channel and do come and watch, and we'll see what happens when I'm able to get back to the US. I'm also busy here, not just in my conference, but I'm also trying to see what important places I can visit and squeeze time and also interact with local scholars. That is the most important part for me, is to listen to the local scholars, to learn from them about the region, to learn about their view of the world, to learn about how their countries think about India, about the US, about China, about Indo-Pacific, about the global economy. So for me, this is a listening and a learning tour. So that's why I'm not able to do justice to conversations. Plus, in China, the internet, you have to use VPN, and for YouTube as well as for Google. So it was very challenging. uh, no, Pakistan can't use those F-35s. The Saudis will not give it to them, but it's quite possible that they might train on them, and they might have joint exercises where you have Pakistanis flying F-16s and Saudi pilots flying F-35s, and Pakistan is giving them tips, etc. So there will be joint military exercises between Pakistan and Saudi Arabia. And I don't think the US will have any problem, because the US is quite happy with Pakistan right now. And they would also be happy if the Pakistanis help Saudi pilots to do well, because now Pakistan is considered as some kind of a champion after its performance against India. So yes, there will be some benefits to Pakistan also if Saudi Arabia does get F-35, but it doesn't mean that Saudi Arabia, that Pakistani pilots will be able to use those F-35s against India. I'm sure there will be some restrictions in that. It's not allowed. It doesn't happen like that. The only time those things happen is between the US and Israelis. And then well, good day, sir. I think you're still in Hong Kong. No, Sabun. I left Hong Kong several days ago. I spent 4 days in China. I went to Shenzhen and Beijing, and now I just arrived today. I'm in South Korea right now. I'll talk about Bihar election. Don't worry. I just don't have time for that right now. I'm busy with these conferences. India is becoming a one-party state like China, rigging elections, and I will talk about it. Don't worry. I'm not very impressed. So that people seem to be highly impressed. In fact, here in the West, people are saying that, okay, now that Modi has won Bihar elections, now he should have no problems in making concessions to the United States in the agricultural sector, so that the bilateral trade agreement can happen. So it's quite possible now that Bihar election is over, Modi will make some concessions to the US in the agricultural sector, which until now he was unwilling to do. Hello from India. Thank you. Hello to you, realist. Yeah, they're called the Abrahamic Accords. You're right. Not Abrahamic. I don't know why I keep saying that. Bangladesh, I did a show with Satya Hindi about Sheikh Hasina's death penalty judgment. I don't know how India is going to handle it, because the Bangladeshis are going to make a request for extradition, and they say, please hand us over Sheikh Hasina. India has a treaty with Bangladesh to hand over people and criminals who are wanted in each other's countries, but India is going to somehow not fulfill its treaty obligations. They are obviously not going to hand over Sheikh Hasina. I have a feeling that the Bangladeshis, before they sentenced her to death, might also be hoping that India will not hand over her, so they don't actually have to do it. So they can sentence her to death, but not actually execute the death sentence, because India is protecting her. So they get political benefit from issuing, because of the enemies of Sheikh Hasina will be very happy and supportive. But one thing is clear, that India's relations with Bangladesh are unlikely to get better. And so Bangladesh will become more and more closer to both Pakistan and China. So India's basically regional foreign policy is a total flop. Dr. Jaishankar, with all his talk about multipolarity and this and that, has failed to make sure that India has good relations with its neighbors. India does not have good relations with China. India does not have good relations with Pakistan. India doesn't have good relations with Bangladesh nor with Nepal. The only countries with whom India has somewhat good relations are Bhutan, Maldives, and Sri Lanka. But even in both Bhutan, Maldives, and Sri Lanka, China has bigger economic investments and bigger debt. Basically, these countries owe more money to China, and therefore China has more influence in these countries, even though the India does not outright have bad relations with Sri Lanka at the moment. Uh, but Maldives, we shall see, Maldives owes a lot of money to India, so that's why it is trying to reach both. It's trying to basically balance India as well as China. But one thing that is very, very clear is that Bangladesh is no more an example of India's neighborhood first policy, nor is it example of looking east policy, nor is it a success for BIMSTEC or SARC. All of those are failed because of what is going on right now. Sabun, Prime Minister Saudi Arabia, said to Honorable President Donald Trump, yes, it is very clear that MBS is not going to budge unless he sees a pathway to the Palestinian statehood. He doesn't want a rebellion in his state, and so I don't think that is happening. Uh, and also, the Saudis also want a civil nuclear program. They also want more defense guarantees. This defense pact basically gets America some money from Saudis for their military operation. Every time they go to support Israel, now Saudi Arabia is going to be funding part of it. And number one. And number two, what is also going to happen is that the Saudis are going to get F-35s. And like I said, they better move before the Democrats win the election in 2026, which they are most likely to. Uh, I don't know, Michael. Russians are using bicycle and motorcycle uh, people for the tiny advances that they have been making. It has come more from soldiers on bicycles and motorcycles, primarily motorcycles. They're like suicide soldiers. But tanks have not had great movement. They are sitting ducks for drones. So I'm skeptical. Let us see. I have not looked at some battle reports lately. Wars going on in Ukraine. I've got sick of that war. But we will see. I mean, the countries still, there are many countries. India has about 2,000 plus tanks, and many countries still are making and amassing tanks. So we will see what happens. But yeah, they are buying 300 advanced tanks from the US. Maybe in countries which I don't know. Maybe those may have some value against Yemen. I don't know. Deepak, Deepak, India is becoming a one-party state. Uh, the whole election, I think, of Bihar's election was rigged. There has been no progress in Bihar, even though they have had a double-engine government for two terms, nearly 11 years now. They have had BJP at the center and BJP, NDA at the center and NDA in Bihar. Bihar is the poorest state in America. Bihar is the most backward state. Yeah, Bihar has the highest level of unemployment, lowest level of education. It is a Bimaru state. That's what they call it. It is the dump of the dump. Bihar is poorer than Pakistan, poorer than Bangladesh, poorer than sub-Saharan Africa after 20 years of Nitish Kumar's rule. Why did they vote for it? Like, if you don't see any progress, any development, and your entire youth are traveling all over India to get a job, you have look, Biharis. Somebody, when I was in Hyderabad in April, people were saying, "Oh, we now have Bihari ghettos in Hyderabad where Bihari labor, the lowest level of labor work is being done by the Biharis, at least in Hyderabad, and then a slightly higher level of work, which is in hotel industry, hotel receptions, but basically hospitality is being handled by migrant workers from the northeast, that is Assam, Manipur, etc. But the worst jobs in hot sun, in labor, is by Biharis. And it's all over the country. You have 1 crore Biharis out of 13 crores. I think 1 crore Biharis, especially young men, are working overseas. And then they go and vote for Nitish Kumar for what? For 10,000 rupees? I don't understand that at all. They deserve each other. They will remain poor. There are no plans offered. They said, we'll give you 10,000 rupees now, give us vote, and that's it. It's a terrible scenario. I don't understand. Plus, I don't know. I did not look at the plans that were offered by RJD, but it is still a powerful force. It didn't lose much in terms of its vote share. So I will do a take. I have a few more points to share about the Bihar election, which I will do. I need to do a bit more of research. Uh, Another interesting comment I just saw. Uh, yeah, yes, Savans. He did a good job, MBS, no doubt about it. It's very, very cold here. It was awful cold. I will share some photographs on the channel, so go and take a look at the post on YouTube. I will share some photographs of my visit to the temple. There's a temple to heaven here. I went to the Great Wall of China. I went to some wonderful places in Hong Kong that you can see in the video on Hong Kong that I made. So my photographs and videos about Hong Kong. But I will share some videos about China that I made. And to me, more importantly, was the conversations that I had there. Those are very important. Bangladesh has good relations with China also, sir. There are heavy investments. In fact, the Jamaat Islami people went a couple of months ago to Beijing. Take a look at it. They had a long meeting. This is to the politically correct, number 9. Uh, Sir, why was Congress unable to prevent terrorist attacks? Why? What a strange question. Why don't you ask Modi why he's not able to prevent? There have been 2 attacks recently, Pahalgam versus the one in Delhi recently. So nobody is able to nobody is able to prevent terrorist attacks. You are pretending as if Modi is able to prevent. He's not. Modi just said that crores and crores of Bangladeshis also came into India, so he's not even able to protect the border. So don't say these silly things. Congress has not been in power for 11 years. Pahalgam, not only Pahalgam, but Even before that, there were attacks, very prominent attacks. Pulwama happened while Modi was prime minister. Good fellows, I'm enjoying my travel. This is my first time to this part. I have traveled to other parts. I've been to Malaysia, Indonesia, Philippines many times, including Singapore. Uh, but I had never been to South Korea, where I'm here today for the first time. I had never been to China and Hong Kong. So for me, it's my horizons are, alhamdulillah, expanding. And I also get to speak. It's not just that I'm sightseeing or anything. I get to meet with scholars. I go to universities. I give lectures. I get feedback. So it was nice. I met some graduate students. So it's nice. I am a Vishwa Guru, traveling all over the world giving lectures. Umar Moghal, what's the opinion of Chinese scholars about Modi and India? Ha, I will do a show about that. But it's very interesting. Um, I did ask a question where I said, "Did you see the map on India's new parliament?" And the response was instantaneous. Oh, you mean Akhand Bharat? Akhand Bharat? I said, yeah, Akhand Bharat. So yes, they are aware. They are aware of India's expansionist uh, inclinations. They understand what Akhand Bharat is, and they understand that Akhand Bharat map includes Tibet, which is part of China. So it was lots of interesting discussions, and clearly they are not very impressed with India and Modi at the home moment. But they said India is an important country, and India is growing fast, and so they want to have good relations with all their neighbors in South Asia. India is a big neighbor with thousands and thousands of kilometers of shared border. So they want to have, I mean, that's a diplomatic talk. I mean, you can ask the same question, Gurmeet Singh, if the election is rigged, how did Congress win six? Who are the Biharis who are working in high positions in US, Canada, and Europe? Bihar's per capita income is $800 a year, Gurmeet. Hyderabad and Telangana is $5,000 per capita income. The per capita income of Gujarat and Maharashtra is over $4,000. So Telangana and Tamil Nadu and Karnataka are 5 to 6 to 8 times richer than Bihar. So one or two people go and work. Yeah, Prashant Kishore is a Bihari. He went and worked for the UN. So what? 1 out of 13 crores. So that doesn't make any sense. I mean, you had a Hollywood star, Shatrughan Sinha. Isn't he Bihari too? His daughter is also doing well. So yeah, there'll be out of 13 crores, there might be like 10,000 people who will do well. What you want out of 13 crores is at least half of them doing well or more, or everybody. Politically correct. This is exactly the point I'm trying to make. After 20 years of Nitish Kumar's government, after 11 years of double engine Sarkar in Bihar, your benchmark is Pakistan. So you are saying that any place that is ruled by Modi and by NDA for 20 years by Nitish and 11 years by NDA, their benchmark is not India. Their benchmark is not comparing with Kerala, not comparing with Telangana, not comparing with Tamil Nadu, not comparing with Maharashtra or even Gujarat. They are comparing with Pakistan. You know, so that isn't that sad, or are you happy with that? Um, and I told you how poor Pakistan's per capita income is 1,000 less than India's. You know, and so it is very sad that people are happy that it is better than Pakistan. I mean, I think in India, if everybody starves to death, as long as Pakistanis are starving more, they will be happy, I think. That's pretty sad. No, I don't know. It's very cold. Beijing was 0 degrees when I was there for all 3 days. I arrived here. This is colder than Beijing. I think it was -1 just now. I went out for dinner. It was -1 degree centigrade here in Seoul. All right. Yes, I heard that, Sabun. Trump said again that I brought about peace between India and Pakistan. This is probably, he's reached 60 times he has said it. And anyway, everybody, thank you for watching Conversations. I'm back. Happy to connect with all of you. Thank you for watching. If you are not subscribers, please subscribe to Conversations. If you want to support, be like Sabun, become a member of Conversations. And when I get back, I will be doing the Zoom conference as soon as I get back to the US, inshallah, and give you some more insider information about my meetings, especially in Beijing and South Korea. The South Korea meeting is very important because it's not just South Koreans who are here. The scholars from all over the region, they're Japanese and others are also here. So I get to hear about them. So anyway, thank you for watching, everybody. Take care. Bye. Welcome, Rehan, and take care, Rehan from Delhi.